Okay, everybody, back again with the daily card, and we're going to do Storm from the X-Men today. This one is one of my favorites because this character is so unique in the way that she changes her appearances. She reinvents herself through various artists that work on her, and it's always intriguing to me to see what's going to come next. Um, she's like the pop star of Marvel Comics. And I'm going to make an adjustment right here because I knew coming in I was going to make that. I put it too close to the ear back here. And don't want to do that. Um, like I said, this is a pop star character because she reinvents herself periodically just to stay fresh, no matter who's drawing her at the time. The character is still the core personality that we know, but I always find it interesting to see what she's going to be doing from book to book. And I'm talking like she's a real person and whatnot, but hey, whatever. Um, yeah, it just cracks me up. It's like, what's she going to wear today? So, because you never know what incarnation of this character you're going to get from issue to issue. And she's one of the only characters that really can change her look and style um, without everybody ever saying anything. I mean, if you change the costume on Wonder Woman, you're going to get some flack coming back at you because of it. You're going to hear some noise, you know. Um, Storm changes from issue to issue. No one ever says anything. I always found that fascinating. Which that goes to prove right there you can do whatever you want to do in comics and can have the freedom to change things and show variations in wardrobe and personality and whatnot and not freak out about it. Which that's inspiring to me because that doesn't happen often because everybody gets to be a fanboy expert and wants to put in their 2 cents and say, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's not what we like. Well, I understand that you guys are the ones, you know, the fans are the ones that do that. They keep things going, and that's why we do this. But as an artist and a creative person, it's one of those things I definitely like to play with the idea of because I don't believe it should be as limited as a lot of people make it out to be. It should be more fun as well. But that's just my personal take on it. Hey, Mike, thanks for hanging out, man. And to calm my allergies down, if you guys hear me cracking on a rock over here, it's a cough drop. I use throat drops to calm my throat when allergy season comes on because it's a bad one for me this year. I haven't been really harshly sick in a while, except for when my daughter caught that infection that's almost put her in the hospital. It took her 3 trips to the emergency room. Back like a month or two ago, I got sick for a day or two, a little bit off of that, but I keep my immune system pretty spry, so I don't have to deal with a lot of that. But I was the one primarily uh, taking care of her at the time, and was at home with her. So, and is it just me, or does this new X-Men costume kind of resemble the old Wonder Woman look a little bit right there with the arches right here? This is from the all new or brand new X-Men. I believe that's where this costume's from. Unfortunately, I'm not an avid reader of the new stuff right now. A lot of that stuff is so out there, I don't have a chance to keep up with it. Of course, I'm working most of the time too, so I don't read a lot. I keep up current events, and that's about it right now within the industry. There's very little that I actually read that's new. Most of it's older stuff. Yeah, glad to hear you're getting better, Nick. That flu and allergy stuff, man, it'll get you. Keep your antihistamines up. It's a really wet year here in Oklahoma, so I have to take extra reinforcement precautions because if we don't, flu bug will settle in. Nothing like getting a summer cold to mess with your day, but no whiners here, so not going there. But I normally draw these in a 5 or a point 0.5 or a point 0.7. Now I'm filling in this shading with a, I decided to flesh it out a little more for you guys today. So I'm shading this in with a 0.9. I got out the big lead holder the other day, and the thing looks like a Ticonderoga pencil. It's huge. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this that are actually going to remember Ticonderoga pencils. They still make them. My daughter used them in kindergarten. They're still out there. If you see them and they happen to be on your kindergartner's desk, walk away slowly so they don't kneecap you. They take those pencils personal. Now I know it's awkward for me to shade for the bust line from highlighting at the bottom, but this outfit doesn't render very well, and I don't want to put it in this area for obvious reasons. So I'm just going to highlight from underneath anyway. For purpose of alignment and avoiding any awkward situations. And see again, naturally the highlight would curve way back up in here, which would be exact proportions for, yeah, we'll leave that there. So, and something I do to make the X on here pop, which a lot of people don't like, that X form that he puts in the middle, or let's see, who was the last artist on it? The name slips my mind now. It's right before Ken left. Then another artist took over on this book, but they put in this little ridge right here sometimes to pop out that X that's in the middle that folds out down below where she meets on this card. But just to let you know, there is a purpose for that. It will stay white. It's just for a ribbing purpose to add an edge to it. Just makes it pop a little more, in my opinion. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. If my hand's in the way, I apologize. I'll get it out of the way in just a sec. Now you got to be careful not to make that look metallic either, because that's not metallic. It's fabric. Yeah, if I put those lines on it, I'll just wait till I color it, leave it flat, pop it off that way. So, anyway. And because this has a lot of white in it down here, I'm not going to overwork that section either. But what I am going to do today is do a little box lighting right here. So make that pop off a little bit for you. Hey Ruben, you made it, man. Hey Jim. Thanks for popping on, guys. I appreciate it, man. I think I saw my boy Rusty hiding back there too somewhere. I can hear my neighbor Jerry out there through the window revving up his big V8. That thing is across the street. It's a massive truck. Let me grab that 9 again. Oh yeah, that's looking cool. I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with me breaking up her hair like this, but the reason I break it off into sections, for one, that's the way I draw hair, but for two is the fact that I don't want her to look like Yandu. So I'm going to be sure and chunk that up really well so she doesn't have that ridged look. I don't think I'm going to detail that hair anymore because I don't want to overwork it. Much appreciated, Kevin. Thanks for coming on, man. You gotta be careful not to work this too much either so it doesn't look overdone. But one thing about Storm is she always has a very dark, sultry eye, which also makes her one of the most appealing characters. And a lot of people don't know this, but her eyes aren't dark brown or black like most people put them. They have her profiled as having auburn or light brown eyes, which I found that fascinating that Marvel did that. Now don't hold me to that because I've seen them change the wiki on their site to read black eyes or white eyes, depending on who updates it. But for the most part, she has an auburn eye color to her. And if you look at some of the older 70s comics, 70s, early 80s comics where she came in from the reboot, she actually has auburn colored eyes, which is an amber yellow type of, or light orangey brown type of color. It almost looks like honey. So, crunching on my cough drop there. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, I always found that fascinating that she has a unique eye color. Other than them turning white when she uses her powers for the most part. I think that's for just pure show and aesthetics, though, for artists not to have to worry about that and her to look a little more grimacing. Yeah, if I ever had the opportunity to draw a Marvel book, I think it would be an X-Men title with Storm in it. She's just, not that I really am targeting that, because I like doing my own stuff, but like I said, if they ever approached me and offered me a title, I would definitely jump at that one. But there's so many guys doing it right now that are just great artists on this book, I'd really rather not. I get asked if I want to draw for those companies or not. They just never approached me. We'll see. But for the time being, though, I'll keep doing my thing. So, make sure I round that out and not blunt it. So, I think we have her. That's where it's going to be. Hey, Anthony. Tony Moore made it. I think we've got her done, guys. Now I'll ink this up and color it like I always do with these cards and post it. And I will be posting this one earlier than I have the last few. And we will go from there. Well, we're going to call this one done. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you next time.